Hybrid cars have become somewhat of a normality over the past 20 years, with many new hybrids now indistinguishable from conventionally powered cars. But one car that's retained its radical and futuristic appearance throughout its lifespan, and is now in its 4th generation, is the Toyota Prius, the original kingpin of hybrid, the first mass-produced hybrid car in fact. But with a growing hybrid market, can it retain its appeal and its relevance? Unlike its exterior design that remains rooted in reminding people that yes, this is indeed a glimpse of future automation, Toyota's actually made the Prius drive, well, more like a regular hatchback, and the latest generation model, which has a lowered centre of gravity by 29mm, is actually the most familiar hatchback-like experience ever in a Prius. You've now got more control in the corners, and what has always felt like a big car feels less so and easier to drive. Yeah, the ride is a bit stiffer than the previous models, but it's still very comfortable. But the Prius isn't exactly what you'd call fun to drive. It still leans in the corners, the steering still lacks a bit of feel. But, oh, I want a really sporty car to drive, one that corners really well. I think I'll get a Prius, said no one ever. But let's talk about its all-important hybrid personality. So, the Prius is an automatic, and it's powered by a 1.8 litre petrol engine and an electric motor, the latter being powered by a battery. And together these produce 121 brake horsepower and up to 165 newton meters of pulling power. And the relationship between the engine and the motor ultimately allows for pure electric driving where possible, be it slowly moving through traffic or if you actively press this EV mode button. And the transition between the engine and the motor is incredibly seamless. Battery power isn't unlimited though, and you will need to replenish it through regenerative braking. Now, Toyota claims that this XL model emits just 76 grams per kilometre of CO2 and can return up to 85 miles per gallon. Now, you're unlikely to get that, but we found that on a mixture of town and motorway roads, we've been getting between 60 to 70 miles per gallon, depending on traffic, of course. And to help you achieve these efficient figures, you can actually activate Eco mode, and that reins in the throttle sensitivity a bit. Alternatively, you can activate Power mode, which gives you all the car's power at once and is ideal for getting ahead at the lights and getting into lane. The interior of the Prius has definitely moved with the times as well. Gone are those microwave-esque displays in place of a detailed, colourful instrument cluster. And you also get this window-like touchscreen along with some softer to the touch materials. It's certainly an improvement over the older model. And you also get some design quirks that remind you that this isn't just a regular hatchback, like these white highlights in the centre, these funky doors, and these really comfortable seats. And these leather seats are actually added as part of the flagship XL trim, as is the reversing camera, the wireless charging, the heated seats, and the traffic sign recognition. Now, from a comfort and convenience point of view, I've not really got any complaints with the Prius. I mean, there are a few little things like the awkward position of the heated seat button, the split rear wing, which hinders visibility a bit, kind of reminds me of the Honda Civic actually. And speaking of the Civic, this bulky dashboard kind of reminds me of the Civic as well, and it does take a while to get used to. The Prius has always been impressive with rear passenger space, and this model is no different. There's tons of legroom and, well, there's not an abundance of headroom, but there is enough to get comfortable. And you need to bear in mind as well that the battery is actually being moved under these rear seats, and there's still plenty of space on offer. A middle passenger, though, may be a bit of a squeeze, especially when it comes to elbow room. The boot's impressive as well, and thanks to the battery being shifted to those back seats, there's more space than ever, with 502 litres available with the seats up and 1,633 litres with the seats down. But what I like most about this boot is the wide open, and I mean, it's huge. If you've got a typical hatchback budget, then the Prius might be slightly out of reach, with prices starting from £23,500 or £28,000 if you go for this XL model. So you're looking at more of a saloon segment kind of price, or other hybrid hatchbacks like the Lexus CT. It is still one of the leaders of the pack for running costs though, and warranty, with a 5-year 100,000 mile package and other incentives as well, like a 3-year paintwork cover. In my opinion, you either get the Prius or you don't. You see, for those who are caught up in the wave of new hybrid editions, The Prius may just seem like an oddball, and you may be thinking, why sacrifice looks? Well, I simply don't have to, and that's fair enough, but I think if you've previously owned a Prius, or if you're living with one for a while, you will definitely start to see the appeal, the comfy ride, the impressive efficiency, and the plentiful practicality. I've certainly got a bit of a soft spot for the Prius anyway. What do you think of the Prius? Would it still be your go-to hybrid if you're in the market for one? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models, visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click one of the links on screen now.